everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my Country Craft Corner. I am coming to you today with a new idea. I have finished all of my crafts for Christmas this year, and I don't have anything else planned to do. But I have done a lot of crafts in the past that I've written blogs about. For those of you who don't know, I have a blog and it's entitled Country Craft Corner, hence the name of my YouTube channel. And I have a ton of blogs on there with a ton of pictures and explanations. So what I think I'm going to do is start a new series of YouTube videos that will be voiceovers. That will go through all the pictures with me describing how I created a wreath, a cozy corner, a shelf design, or something like that. So this video will be my first in the series. And I'm going to start with this big wreath here behind me. I'm standing on the inside of my front door. My living room is there, my dining room is there, and the foyer separates the two, and this hangs on the back of the front door. Because as you can see, I don't have a lot of wall space. Well, maybe you can't see, but I don't have a lot of wall space on either side of the front door. So I was bothered by that, so I really wanted to make something to fill this space a little bit. So I'm going to be voicing over all of my pictures that I used for my blog, and I will explain how I made this wreath. I don't know how many videos I'll make in this series. I have quite a few things just for Christmas that I made last year, so we'll see how far I go. I don't know. I sure have a lot of other crafts that I've written blogs about too and haven't videoed. So we'll see how this goes. So I'll just say right now, as we move on into the voiceover part of this video, until next time, y'all take good care. Okay, let's get started. In this video, I will take you through the steps that I went through to create this stamped burlap and snowman wreath. First, let me go through the materials that I used. I found this wired snowman silhouette in Hobby Lobby, and it alone is what inspired me to make this wreath. I tried to incorporate that pretty green color into the living room and dining rooms. Those rooms sit on the front of our home and are separated by the front door. As I mentioned before, this wreath hangs on the back of the front door. Here are the other materials that I used. A 24-inch work wreath, one that has the chenille ties already installed. 3 skeins of 18-inch by 9-foot stamped burlap. I found mine at Walmart. 1 roll of 5.5-inch by 15-foot green burlap. 1 roll of wired craft ribbon of your choosing to be used to make a craft bow. I will give you a link to my craft bow tutorial in the description below. 4 picks of silk sparkly flowers of a coordinating color. 6 green snowflake Christmas ornaments. I also used a Merry Christmas wooden sign and 2 sets of 20-count battery-operated LED white lights. In addition, you will need a hot glue gun, wire cutters, and a few pipe cleaners. Here's how I created this wreath. The first thing that I did was attach the stamped burlap. Let me warn you up front that this particular burlap is very stiff and not all that easy to manipulate. But I persevered and managed to get it all attached. I started on the outer ring of the work wreath and made my way around the wreath by looping the burlap from one chenille tie to the next, making my loops about 8 to 10 inches in length. I transferred over to the inner ring on the work wreath and placed burlap in each chenille tie in the exact same fashion as I had done with the outer ring. It took all 3 skeins of burlap to complete that task. After the burlap was attached, I took the green burlap and attached it to all of the green chenille ties on the outer ring of the wreath form only. I made loops just about as large as I had the burlap loops. Next, I made a big bow out of the wired coordinating ribbon and left myself 2 long tails. I attached the bow to the upper portion of the wreath just to the left of center and then looped one of the tails up and over the top of the wreath, catching it in a couple of the outer chenille ties, and then cutting an upside down V at the end. Then I took the other tail down below the bow and looped and caught it in a couple of the outer chenille ties, cutting the end into a V just as I had done above. Then I attached the metal snowman to the right-hand side of the wreath, centering it between the top and the bottom. I used the chenille ties on the wreath form to hold the snowman on the wreath. To pull the white wired ribbon onto that side of the wreath for balance, I took a section and looped it into the outer ring chenille ties beside the snowman. I piggybacked it right on top of the green burlap ribbon. Next, I added the flowers and snowflakes. I used the chenille ties to attach the flowers, and I hot glued the snowflakes in and among the flowers. Lastly, I hot glued a couple of pipe cleaners onto the top of the wooden Merry Christmas sign, and then I used those pipe cleaners to attach the sign onto the wreath form. I was then finished. I took it out to the front door and hung it on the black wrought iron over the door wreath hanger that I got from Grandin Road. I'll put a link in the description below. Chris has rigged two of the over the door wreath hangers together, and one hangs on the inside of the front door and one hangs on the outside of the front door. This finished wreath measures a bit more than 30 inches from side to side. It is quite large. I then wrapped the two light sets around the wreath, setting the timer to come on at dark and stay on for 5 hours. I snugged the timer boxes into a couple of the loops to hide them, which works out perfectly. This wreath adds that little bit of decor to the foyer, and it helps to meld the dining and living room colors and decorations together. And of course, Gracie, Sophie, and Samson love to pose in front of it. I am very happy with how this wreath turned out, and its softness really helps to keep the comfy and cozy theme that I always try to achieve alive and well while we are celebrating the most wonderful time of the year. Until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye now.